Everyone.
Morning.
Hello. Good day, mate.
Nice. Great welcome. Ben's just joined.
Yeah, sorry, I had a few internet issues, but I'm here.
No, you're right. No worries.
Hope everyone is doing well. We missed last week, so lots to update you on. Do you want to start off with product side, Luke?
Yeah, I'll just Atesh just left them put a message up there asking if the AMAs are bi-weekly now. No, it's just the way it landed. But no, they're still weekly at the moment. It's just, yeah, like I said, we just missed a couple, and they just happened to be in that order, but it wasn't planned or intentional.
We've actually got a lot of stuff going on, Ash, that we'll sort of update you on, but lots of pieces coming together. So, yeah, like Luke said, it was not a planned thing. It's just that when heads are down and bums are up and people are working, and sometimes you might have an update that might be on the cusp of happening, or you're working on something and you just want to just get through it and make sure that we've got those updates.
Yeah, so I'll do a bit of a run through on where we're at with the product side of things, and then I might let you answer a few questions while I get my headset ready, and I'll do a quick demo. I haven't had a demo for a while, so we'll do that. All right, so yeah, from the product update side of things, individualized apartments or the personalized apartments are almost ready. I'll demo what we've got. There's only one piece missing at the moment, which is having the ability to save the changes you make. Everything else is there. So the token gating's there. The menu to access the apartments. You can even see the checking of your wallet and showing you your own apartments is up and running. So that's extremely close. The citizens were one of the reasons we couldn't make that first AMA, because we were working on those, and we actually finished it at that point, and we'd actually integrated the citizens, but we weren't happy with the quality on that first pass, and we want to make sure that we do this right the first time. So we're doing another pass. We're actually going back and improving the quality of them before we integrate them. We know that once they're in there, there'll be marketing videos and everything and people filming. So we want to make sure that they are at their final quality when they go in. The other thing is NFT gating, which is kind of what's enabled those apartments to be a thing. Also facilitates access to events. So I think that's something that shouldn't be underestimated, the power of that, being able to, if as a district owner, control who can enter and making your area exclusive, even if it's just for a period of time for an event. I think there's a lot of potential there. There's probably use cases we haven't even really covered off on yet. There's a heap of AI additions coming. I won't spoil that too much unless you want me to show you that video, Ben, of the lake video, but I can do that. Actually, I'll do that, because that's not, when you see that video, just be warned that it's rough and it's not at all the final product, but it'll show you some of the funny stuff we've come across when we're integrating this AI into the system. It's pretty hilarious. I've been playing. Sorry, go.
You can do an AMA where you ask a question and then answer your questions. Ask myself anything.
I've had so much fun. I've been up in my office just laughing at the AI stuff in the last week or so, just mucking around with it. But yeah, it's cool. But it's already evolved a lot just in these short few weeks. So we're really looking forward to sharing that stuff. There's an introduction of the economy coming in the next build. So we'll have AI credits introduced. So you can basically, if you're a heavy user of the AI stuff, you can get credit packs. And that's kind of just a bit of a proof of concept and a test for the whole economy system. So we're just sort of phasing that in slowly. We want to make sure we get it right. We've just completed the back-end rebuild that we've been talking about for weeks. So that's exciting, because that allows us to obviously scale a lot. I know when you walk in there, you probably won't immediately notice a big difference, but it's the little things like voice quality is better. Like I said, we can have more people in a space. It performs better generally. So there's a lot of really good things. And that's partly why this CitiXens and the apartments piece was delayed, because we wanted to make sure that that was in there beforehand, before we put these other two changes in, or we'd end up with two major releases back to back. So we carefully plan this, and we're confident this will give us the best result in the long run. To close out the Vault side of things, there's a few more things, believe it or not. So we've made a few changes to the arcade improvements. So we've got full avatar support in there now. So whichever avatar you're using in the core Vault, that you can use in the apartments now. There's proper sitting, so your avatar will actually sit, bend its knees, sit in the chairs, and there's improved Pong physics. So we've been playing around with the physics a bit, and it has changed sometimes the collision on the hand or the way the ball actually comes off of the hand. So we've improved that, and it's basically it's easier to throw, which makes a big difference. We've reworked Fear, and again, it's mostly back end stuff, but we've got much better support for multiple sessions. Also, it's smoother. It's loading faster, and the transitions are smoother. There was a bit of jerkiness to the transitions at some point. What else have I got? Okay, so yeah, apartments and district management via the web portal. So that's been greatly improved and expanded. So you can actually make changes to districts and apartments remotely. That's still a work in progress, but it's coming along. And Quest version 2 obviously has been released now. So we've had a lot of feedback on that, and we're currently making some tweaks. So there'll be another small version upgrade, small version bump on that with some upgrades and changes in it. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that at all, Phil.
Sorry. Elaborate on what?
The Quest version 2 change fixes that we're doing at the moment.
Oh yeah. So we've gotten a lot of great feedback, but we're also, painfully aware of the bugs that are out there. So yeah, those will be addressed within the next few weeks, and we'll make those announcements before those changes are made. But there is a question in here, just real quick, that's related. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people playing KOGs Quest, and actually that is fine for us right now. We haven't done any marketing, as you've noticed, because we want to work out those bugs before we get a large influx of people that would make it unmanageable. So this is okay for now. And please, if you are running into any new bugs, please report them so that we can address those.
Thanks, mate. Red Pill, did you have anything you wanted to add on the Vault web side of things?
No, I think you covered it all. We're mainly working on those NPC integrations right now, that you can actually change those things also from the portal, and we're testing that part. Yeah, we have a couple of other things already ready in the portal, like for example, you can upload an audio file, so it plays your own music when you enter district, and a couple of those things, but they still need to be activated inside the vault, and we're currently still focusing on other priorities. So there are a couple of things that will come in soon, and then we will switch them on in the portal. Other than that, I think you covered it all.
I think that can be said for a lot of stuff at the moment, that we're it's in the background and ready, but we just haven't turned it on yet. So there's going to be a fair bit of stuff happening at once, which is cool. It probably feels externally like there's not much progress being made, but it's all behind the scenes. It's happening, and I'll give you a demo in a sec just to get my device set up. I don't know if you want to do a couple of questions, Ben, and then I can get my device set up and come back.
Sure. is there any upcoming token utility to be announced or implemented? So yeah, now that we've got the vault moving along, we're working on that side of things now. But our priority has been obviously to get the apartment citizens stable build and also the tools to creators, because that all flows into the utility. But yes, we're working on a few things now, so we'll advise you when they hatch. Ziggy, hi guys. Urban Gecko, number 0, is working for RFOX your dream job? I can't answer that one. He's gonna have to answer that.
That was earlier on, we were discussing it, and I said, yes, I'm absolutely loving it. And I'm not just saying that because you're here.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you. It is, for all intent and purpose, and one of the things that I wanted to touch on while Luke's getting ready, I don't want to shirk away from it either. We get lots of questions in relation to for how much longer will RFOX be overlooked, or you've got this great product and it's hatching and it's coming together, and when will the jets be turned on and all the rest of it. I think for us, what we're seeing is we've tried supposedly the best help that you can get in the Web3 side of things to give shout outs and marketing and all the rest of it. But ultimately what we're seeing is a steady influx, and Lala will probably be able to add some more context. I don't know what you want to share, Lala, because I haven't been to the last few, but we've got a consistent flow of combination of brands, influencers, people coming through the vault and having looks. So that's a good sign to us that that's a steady momentum pickup. We're getting people coming in and asking when they can deploy, how they can deploy. And we're also seeing a massive opportunity that we'll reveal more on shortly from the AI side of things, because it's difficult to use AI and to integrate AI when you're talking about such a fast moving technology set with players that are, if it was like a football ladder, every week, if you had a look at the top 10 or 20 AI companies, there's a lot of movement and there's a lot of new features added and up and coming companies. So to try and keep across all of it and to bundle it all together is not an easy feat. So that's provided huge opportunities for us as well. But ultimately, our focus is on making sure that we get these last few pieces. Now, they're not the last pieces that we'll ever build, of course, but getting those apartments, the avatars, the AI integration, the stable build, and the portal there for the creators, that's our focus, because if that's the only pieces of the puzzle that are missing for the real ability to be able to give that tree a good shake. Of course, there'll be lots more that we add, but once you've got that foundation down and stable, you don't need to be adding stuff for the sake of adding stuff. You can start to open the floodgates and let people come in and build and all the rest of it. And that goes back to the previous question. That's when the token utility really comes in as well. But yeah, and the other thing that people often state is, look into your crystal ball. When's this market going to turn around? We've got the same ideas as you guys have. We read the same stuff that you guys do. Having the benefit of being through multiple cycles, you can sort of see that some indicators are there, that that it could start to turn around, but it's also, there's a lot of external factors that say that it's going to take a while as well. So I think all that we can do as a project is sort of keep communicating, keep building, keep delivering stuff, and the testament will be when people start coming in and using that on a more frequent basis. Lala, do you want to add any context in relation to some of the walkthroughs, or anything that you want to share in relation to what we're hearing as far as feedback, good or bad?
Sure, definitely. And I think we bumped into a few community members when we did a walkthrough. Ziggy bumped into 2 of our walkthroughs, actually. It was pretty late on our side, but we bumped into him, and it was great to see community members in there. We have a lot of wins that most people may not notice, because it's usually the internal team that sees the communications and how people react to us. I'll be very honest. Before this, getting someone that is totally not into NFTs or Web3 into the vault was a bit of a challenge. A lot of the times we were ignored. If you see our DMs and how we try to contact them, it'll take them a really long time to even have a scene or a tick or a blue sign that they've seen on messages. But of late, we've actually gotten very positive feedback from the ones that were very open to come in to give their feedback, and they shared it with their communities and their inner circles. And it's becoming a lot easier, and it's becoming an easier conversation to have, because bear in mind that a lot of the users out there, especially when it comes to VR, are not too familiar on NFTs. Some of them may not be aware of the benefits and so on. And coming in for them is like a fresh start altogether. And having conversations with them is really interesting. They have a lot of ideas coming in. Phil can add up to that as well, because they do want to deploy, they do want to build. They give us a lot of tips on what kind of angle things work for the VR community. And we're really looking into it. And this week, we have a few that have confirmed, and we're looking forward to it. Good and bad, of course, we've had some really smooth walkthroughs that have been a breeze. Bad, of course, there are times when there are certain glitches here and there, but we still got that positive feedback. It's like, oh yeah, other games are the same too. We feel the same way. It's never easy to build a full-fledged open world metaverse anyway. So we predicted the worst, feedback, but thank God for now it's been really positive, and they are coming in again. And some of them were in different builds, and they're getting a more updated build, and they see the difference really, really fast. So yeah, that's just my take, and that's what I've seen so far.
That's brilliant, Lala. Thank you for sharing that. And I think that just one note that I want to share on that as well is, being one of the founders and being, I know King of KOGs is the same, and Luke's the same from a product perspective, and we all are. We all care tremendously. And the thing is that the interesting thing is now, Lala and Phil and a heap of the team have been taking these walkthroughs and tours. Now, as a founder, you sort of say, hey, it's important that we guide these people through, we give them the information, we can answer the tough questions. And the great part is now we're progressing at such a rapid rate that we're trying to get more of our team involved in facilitating some of these walkthroughs and going on these walkthroughs. And the team's doing an amazing job because they're all getting direct exposure. Now, you think about it, if you're behind a desk all day working and bashing away at a keyboard, you might not necessarily get the benefit of understanding what the work you do means and how it contributes to the platform and to what we're doing. So for people to be able to put on the headset, put down the keyboard for a minute and jump in there and hear that feedback and see what people are going through is huge. And for us as founders to be able to step back and say, you guys have got this, a huge turning point in the project as far as I'm concerned from my perspective. And one of the questions that I got a DM was, how come we don't advertise walkthroughs? I presume that's because some of you have bumped into some of us in there. It's inevitable that more and more of you are going to bump into us when we're doing tour groups. The thing is that we're trying to give a tailored experience or tailored walkthrough to these people and answer the questions as best we can. This is not something that you'd want to, it's kind of a bit off-putting if, say, there's 2 people from their side and we've got 60 people walking around. That might change in time, but at this particular point in time, don't worry, say hi if you bump into us and introduce yourself or whatever. But ultimately, we're trying to just take these people through. They generally only have an hour, and Phil and Lala will tell you that an hour is becoming not enough to show everybody everything, so we've got to be selective. But it's not something that we have any plans to publicly advertise at this point.
Yeah, as you said, Ben, we're not doing it in a different instance or anything. We want to do it in the public instance, and yeah, but there's no problems with anyone bumping into someone and saying hello. That's fine. In fact, we encourage people to say hello. We want people to do that, and we don't want to shy away from the walkthrough at all.
Phil, anything that you want to share before Luke shares his video? Anything that you want to just add to Lala's points that might be insightful?
Anything to add? Well, The walkthroughs have been enlightening because the VR we're looking at a lot more VR enthusiasts rather than crypto enthusiasts now on these walkthroughs, and the experiences have been very positive, even with the glitches, because there's nothing really like us out there. There are what these guys have been used to are, quote unquote metaverses, but it's a lot of kids. So I think there is a need for a more adult space, which I think RFOX can definitely cater to. The one interesting feedback that we got though was, a lot of the VR enthusiasts who were aware of us thought we were a crypto company riding on the metaverse hype. And then it was, a pretty eye-opening moment for them when they realized that like the vault is the real deal, and the crypto portion is just a underlying technology rather than the be-all end-all of our company. So I found that pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Thank you for sharing, mate. Luke, I think you want to share something, speaking of which.
Yes, I'm ready to go. Let me just share my screen. How's that? Can you see me? See my screen?
Mine's loading.
Loading for me.
There
you
it
go.
is. Got it. Yeah. Just make sure you got volume
Look at
on,
all
mate.
those bald dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
maybe you can have hair there, just see.
That's a lot of bald.
A whole lot
Come
of
on,
head.
man. People with hair are the worst.
Whoa.
No, I
That's
can't
an
stand
attack.
You're hairists. You're hairists.
So
Oh.
That looks like
I'm
well
not-
said Fred ×2.
even this guy's bald. I won't go in as a citizen. As I said, we're still working on these, but we have integrated these. This is actually my citizen, so that is working. I'll go in as my rockstar.
You've even got the crypto open mouth video covers on
Yeah.
those.
The YouTube thumbnail face.
You need to put a
It's
pointing
exciting.
finger towards the mouth going, shock, Bitcoin going to zero.
Just surprised at how long this freaking bear market's lasting is what they are.
Trying to catch flies to eat in their mouths.
Constantly shocked, but at some point they'll turn to a smile and we'll be okay.
That's it. It's caviar or flies. Need a drum roll noise while that's happening.
Could do like some African dum 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 dum.
That sounds so weird, dude.
I know, what was that? It's very strange.
How was the Jumanji music? All the old
Ah,
people
that's
yelling
what it was.
exactly what that was.
Okay, so we've all seen the apartment lobby, but I'll just show you what the change is in here. Again,
After you
download.
download
Sorry.
But this is where you cut to the here's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah.
So they know it's live. And it's
Actually,
yeah.
I had downloaded this. Like I'd gone in and pre-downloaded this first. It was all ready to go, and then I got a new build, and I was like, God damn it, I have to install that. Now I had to roll back, and yeah, unfortunately, I'm downloading again.
On a tractor there, Red Pill.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something in front of my house.
Now you'll see that we've got these open kiosk options now. So all of these lifts are available and will take you to the same place. But so we've got this little menu that pops up. So you've got public, which is the shared apartments that we all know and love. Then we've got owned. And owned is actually pulling the apartments out of, this is using the NFT gating. It's actually pulling the apartments out of my wallet. So I'm going to I'll go Sky. If I've got a PIN number set on it, I can enter that as well. But at the moment, it's just unsecured in that way. So we've got NFT slots on the walls. Can be populated through the portal. And on the windows over here. So we've got multiple slots in here. And obviously, any changes you're making at the moment will be saved for yourself. But the last bit we're working on is just making that so it saves for everybody who enters this apartment and saves per apartment. So if you've got 3 Sky apartments, you may want to decorate them differently so they'll all be separate entities.
So you when you went in there, you got your AI watch out and you said prison theme.
Yeah, show them the roof as well, Luke.
Default. Oh, the roof's amazing. Oh, sorry, I'll go up there in a sec. Sorry, I think that my ceiling's concrete as well. And then the NFT inventory is the other thing, so you can actually see NFTs and what you're holding inside the vault now. Cool.
Awesome.
So we've got a floating NFT slot there. If you're on the wall over here. The floating one, I'm not sure about, but yeah.
There's a reason for it. There's a future feature coming, and it's gonna make sense.
Okay, I trust you.
Trust me, just trust me.
I do trust you. I do. Not sure why, but I do.
Could you perhaps show them the studio as well, just so they can see the fact that how the different NFTs displays work?
Got plenty of studios to choose from.
I actually really dig the studios. They look awesome.
It's cool. Yeah, it's very crisp. What did you want to do in here, Micah?
I just wanted to show them that there's only one slot here, because obviously this is the peasant's house. So if you got the Sky, you get 9.
Even peasants get NFTs in the vault. NFTs for everyone. Right. That's the main thing I wanted to show in there, but I'll share my video as well. My AI video. Is the sound coming through? What's your name?
My name is iNinja. It's nice to meet you.
Hey dude, what's up?
I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Could you please rephrase your question?
I'm just asking how you are.
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
What's my name?
I'm sorry. I don't know your name. Could you please tell me what it is?
My name's Luke.
Nice to meet you, Blake.
What's my name?
Your name is Lake.
Is it? Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure.
That's still
Told me
better
your
than
name.
luck.
Oh, that's what I remember it to be.
Fair enough.
Imagine
Oh, well,
conceding to an AI like that.
My wife cracks up. She'll just be doing something random and she'll just go, "My name is Lake." She thinks it's absolutely hilarious, and she thinks it's almost like the AI is giving you lip. You know, you're going.
He's correcting me. He's going, yes, I am sure. I am sure because that's what you told me your name was, and that's what I remember it as. All right, dude, chill out.
Oh, Luke, it's starting. Everyone's calling you Lake in the chat.
I do not want to mess. I don't want to mess with that guy though. He's kind of sinister. I just call me whatever you want. That's fine. And I feel that way about some of
He
these.
may be
community
the
members.
start of Skynet, so don't piss him off.
Exactly.
I think it's really good to share that stuff with you guys as well, because the funny thing is that it's a lot of fun experimenting and playing with all of this stuff, and there's a lot of refinement that goes through before things get released. But it is good to show you that what we're working on, and you can obviously imagine the potential this is going to have for KOGU and CitiXens and all the rest of it. I won't say any more. I'll go through some questions, Luke, while you're in the arcade stuff up. We've got a lot. Tesh, now that XRP isn't a security, can RFOX get listed on Coinbase and other US exchanges like Kraken, etc.? It's a good question. We're still trying to work out what the ramifications are. If you followed the legislative releases, there was like a 50-50 win for XRP, and it was wins in the right areas for sure and certain. But we think that there's going to be a number of people that try and kind of push the envelope a little bit now and see what they can get away with. Ultimately, and there's a lot of people still on the back foot still. I'm not touching any of this stuff until we know how it pans out. So I think it's really early to tell. But some of these exchanges will definitely signal their intent by moving forward with some listings. But we always try and keep pestering people and talking to people if there's some chance of getting listed for sure. With complete COGs tubes, users can claim apartment, CitiXens, materials, RFOX and others. This makes our sets the most valuable in the ecosystem. Can templates get some fix on AtomicHub? New COGs are not showing correctly to let users trade or collect. I don't know who wants to handle that, but ultimately that's something that we have to keep dealing with AtomicHub for, because we don't control those sites. So it's a matter of making sure that they've got the right information to update.
Although, can I ask what templates are not showing correctly?
Let's see what they come back with. There you go. That might answer it there. AtomicHub's filtering of COGs hasn't been fixed, and trading on there is near impossible. AtomicHub have said to me that this is the NFT project's responsibility to update that interface.
That's crazy.
Mental. We have absolutely no access to their interface at all.
Let me go and check with Pete. Maybe we can do something. But yeah, usually template data is set in stone, so that's fixed, and the UI would need to adjust. Usually, we did those things previously a lot on AtomicHub, where we told them, hey, just change this and that. So I'm surprised that we have an issue now that can't be fixed. So I'll double check if we can do that.
Follow it up, though. I was saying we can follow it up, though. We can have a chat to AtomicHub.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. Kamaroth, do you think that having a bunch of community members live whilst the walkthrough is going on would show that we have an active community? Oh, for sure. I think it's like I said, come and say hi. It's definitely better than nobody being in there at all. I think that some people probably, if nobody was in there and you walk through, they might think that they've got a royal treatment or royal walkthrough or something. So yeah, for sure. It's always good to have that. And we're not going to be able to avoid that. The more people that we get, it's not like we will all be running on separate tracks and saying, piss off everybody, get out of the vault for an hour while we take people around. It's going to happen. Is it wrong me picturing Urban Gecko in a loincloth banging drums with that African beat? Well, now we all have to picture that. It doesn't like the Aussie accent. What's Paradise on about?
Did you ask what I was on about when I said get fucked before?
I presume it's to do with the lake thing.
Yeah, that AI is mind blowing. That's ridiculous.
It's going to be very good because
the outtakes real. You want to see the real thing? That was nothing.
I mean, you don't want to see the real thing.
Yeah, the thing is that you can sort of obviously this is evolving really quickly, but there'll be opportunity to be able to do stuff like the NPC type of character that's pre-programmed to play a game against you. Remember back in the early Slam, we used to have a bit of shit talking going on from the bosses. That's like baby level, and then you'd have stuff that you could program like the law. You could supersede or seed some avatars with the law, and then they could answer questions in relation to law, but then also learn as they go. The potential for this stuff is massive, and definitely, I think, are at a very advantageous situation because a lot of people are going out and trying to bang on doors and saying, hey, I've got a tool and it's pretty cool, and would you like to use it in your metaverse, or would you like to use it in your game or your platform? We've got the ability to be able to trial and use these things on a platform because we have a platform. So that puts us at a huge advantage. And different people are going to want different things. And this also gives us the opportunity to have different options available to people. So if companies want to come in and program things differently or make things more complex, then they can do that based on their on what they're prepared to subscribe to or whatever. So it's a really amazing opportunity for us for sure and certain.
Yeah, it just what you're showing with from a technology standpoint is massive. So, if you don't mind, do you mind if I make just a quick 5-minute, 10-minute announcement just for Catalyst? I meant to send something through to Chicken earlier, but thought we'd just jump in here if that's possible.
Yeah, go for it.
So obviously, as most of the community in here knows and keeps up with us on Twitter and stuff, we're constantly announcing projects and we're getting closer and closer to launching. We've obviously announced 7 already, 2 are prepared and signed off, so technically we've got 9 out of the 11. But we wanted to announce the 10th one tonight, which will technically actually be the 8th one we announced publicly. I believe the founder's here currently in the chat at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can unmute yourself if you want, Defiant. But it's the DeFi Bears. So they actually jumped in the vault with you, Benny, I believe 2 or 3 weeks back from memory. I think you gave them a tour yourself personally.
Something like that. I'm terrible with timeframes, but
yeah, it flies by now. So yeah, they jumped in and since then have been engaging obviously in this community, in the vault, different bits and pieces, and we've had some good chats. And I think the vision that they have aligns well with obviously not just us as a DAO, but I think the whole VR approach that RFOX is going. So Adelia and Crypto J sat on a call for about 2 and a bit hours, I think, the other night, and just went through some stuff with them. And yeah, we ended up having a discussion and looking to partner. So we'll announce that tonight on Twitter, probably in the next 30 minutes or so at the end of the AMA. So if anyone here hasn't heard of them yet, please jump on, give them a follow, have a look at what they're doing. They're building in Unity, they're building VR games, DeFi. There's a whole bunch of stuff they're doing. So yeah, just wanted to jump in and announce that.
Thank you, mate, and welcome to Catalyst DAO for the DeFi Bears. That's great, and into the vault, obviously. Looking forward to hearing about the others too, and it's going to be great to get all of those projects rubbing shoulders and swapping notes, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of all of these people in the same space. I can't wait to see it.
Yep. Yeah, we're keen to. We're getting close, so we won't say. Just got 1 more left to go, and then and then we'll be ready to launch.
Beauty. Can I have a chat with AI Doc Brown in the vault? Actually, the interesting thing is that people will customize and they'll have their own types of avatars. Plus, you'll have the citizens. Me personally, I'm really looking forward to having some citizens with law loaded in and knowing all about their areas. That's going to be awesome.
That predictive software that I guess Apple uses when you use voice text, is that something that that idea used to train it to listen or understand? Because all I can do is view my dad yelling into his phone trying to auto text and it coming out horrible.
Yeah, so actually we did a bit of exploration right now with how to train those just with conversations, and it actually works surprisingly well. If that was the question, I mean, like because you can give it a base knowledge in the background, so we'll give you an interface where you can fill in information about it. If you just want to write it or copy it from somewhere, if you don't want to, you know, talk too much, or just give it some base background, and then when you talk to it, and you say that was incorrect, what you just said, or you know, or just fill it in with more information, it will actually remember that. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's the memory side, and there's also like us giving, adding a backstory and adding information as well, and uploading. We can upload documentation, all sorts of stuff, but it's about controlling what it spits out the other end. It's the hard bit, but that's what we're tweaking at the moment. But it's very powerful.
I can only imagine the AI bot in Adelaire's, room.
What are you suggesting?
Now, Luke, I think you've got something else that you want to share as well.
Yeah, I'm ready. 2 seconds. Let me just share my screen again. Right. Yell out when you can see it.
Yep, I can see.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll see when I pick up the ball, it's kind of on the tip of my finger, which seems a little bit weird, but when I throw it, it's much smoother. There's no deflection, and there's no... Actually, the biggest thing you should notice when I do that is that I'm wearing gloves and I'm an actual avatar.
I
Not a
thought the
robot.
biggest thing I noticed was how bad you were.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah. I totally agree. Sorry, mate?
You've got hobo gloves.
Yeah, so you can see my hobo gloves. I'm not a robot. I'm actually an avatar. The avatar I walked in with is coming with me. But the cool thing is, if now I'm sitting in this seat, I'm actually sitting. My knees are bent, my feet are on the ground, which I know is a little bit of a gimmicky thing, but it's actually really cool. When I sit at the bar,
It adds to the immersion.
right?
I think maybe you're a bit too drunk to sit on the bar.
Really, one way. Why can't I select the stall all of a sudden? I was just sitting on one a minute ago. Yeah. Better check that.
Don't serve hobos, mate.
Seems that way. I don't know though. It's the gloves, isn't it? The tables are a little bit higher as well. You see, because I'm actually a full avatar now. The robots are sort of floating off the ground, so at normal big person height now. And yeah, just I mean, you'd have to be in here to feel how much smoother it is, but that side of things has progressed a lot as well. But it's just it's a really smooth feeling build, and having the avatar in here makes a huge difference when you're in here interacting. And you can see that movement was a bit limited with the androids in here. They were sort of, the arms were floating, and you also didn't know who anybody was, so being able to identify people was a big plus as well. Yeah, I think that's it for that demo. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, mate. That's awesome. I'll go back to some of these questions. To get it's good for people to see some of this progress, which is great. Can you speak on the COGS Quest rewards? How long will the rollout be for each unique reward? Currently, the Dracodon is out, but there is no Border 24 or Foil COGs. How long do you expect the season to run before releasing the next new COG reward?
Yeah. So the plan is to release a new design or a new dragon each week. So we will make that change every Tuesday for the next what is it, for the next 4 weeks remaining. And regarding the templates that aren't being sorry. So after this initial 6 weeks of the 5 different dragons, then they would all be combined. So you'd be able to win any of them. Although right now we are considering cycling through again, because we know that the templates are not transferring equally. And that is a limitation we found out of the WAX API. So we have to restructure the way we mint the COGs in the wallets, and that will be addressed starting next week. So you should see all the templates transferred, and including the foils.
Thank you, mate. Why should I hold VFOX for the next 3 months or 6 months or 12 months? It's a good question. Why hold anything for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months? I think the thing is, again, we can't comment towards price trajectories and stuff like that. All we can talk about is saying that obviously you're seeing, even on tonight's call, every week's call, we're getting closer and closer to where we need to be for these things to come into effect. So it's just a matter of, and we're also acutely aware that the market can turn at any particular point in time. So we are very much focused on making sure that all of the tools and the portals and everything are ready as soon as they possibly can be, so that we can make sure that things are really turned on and rolling. So it's like anything. We're showing the progress. We're showing how fast we're moving towards those goals, and then ultimately that will then be up to all of the people that create and build and develop in the vault, and how well they market and promote their businesses as well. Okay, that's about the tab for the Twitter.
Yep, I'm going to jump in for that one just to clarify. I believe what he means is the Twitter channel tab that we have right now. It was technically stopped for the moment when we had a little bit of a compromise issue with Me 6. So we will review again if it's safe to be reactivated. But it was a safety reason why we took it off, to be honest. Yeah.
Thanks, Lala. When can we see you chatting to Raoul on Real Vision? Oh, anytime, mate. I'd love to do that. We've been starting to sort of eye off different channels where we can have a chat and talk to people, but that would be one that would be obviously awesome. And then see Paradise can see you on there if Benny's too busy. We'll hit up Raoul. Okay, there you go. Fantastic. I would do that in a heartbeat. I think he's made some pretty bold predictions and copped a bit of flack, but who hasn't in that space? But he's supported us in the past, and yeah, I'd be very happy to sit down and have a chat with him. That would be awesome. Any updates that you want to give Red Pill, Micah, or anybody before we take a bow?
I'm happy from my side. Luke showed most of the stuff I wanted to talk about, so I'm good. Thank you.
Sorry, mate.
No, I loved it. Thank you.
I'm not
Maybe
really
even just talking about it.
I was never sorry. Did I sound genuine?
Do realise
happy boss, happy life.
we don't get a Hobot in the vault called Lake, then we really wasted the whole AI movement, haven't we?
Can I jump in on something, Benny? One last thing.
Sure.
It's probably more of a just something we've noticed, at least for us from the DAO side of things, with whatever you guys are doing from a more social media aspect. It's more just to say, keep doing what you're doing. We're seeing traction change. Different people come in and out of the Discord, ask different questions, want to come into the vault. So whatever you're doing there, obviously with different tactics or approaches to marketing is good, with the numbers. The more the community, talks about it and gets out there and supports, the better. That was all really.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that. We are actually working closely with other people to, on a sustained campaign, and that is the hope. So that's good feedback. Thank you. Phil, were you going to say something?
Yeah, just want to say we're also working a bit on smaller mini games inside the vault. Like we will have some tests in the arcade. If you want to try the RFOX run in the vault, you can go to C24. If you're on your phone, you can actually play that game on the web view. Like if you click on the web view, you can play it through your phone. But yeah, on VR it doesn't work yet, so we're just figuring out how to map those controls to VR. It's it's a nice little test, because that will enable us eventually, for example, in the arcade, to have like 20 different more web games in there, which really expands our options as well for creators to include those kind of web games as well, and developers that are building those games. Yeah, that's a little new thing as well. But other than that, everything covered.
Mate, and we've got one more question from Hanford on any ideas on why Quest doesn't work on iOS for some users?
No, not yet. We will be digging in with our developer, like I said, over the next couple weeks to try to figure that out. But it's really just a minority of people who are having this problem. Although I do feel bad for you, Hanford. We will try to figure that out for you.
Thank you very much for everybody for coming by and giving us updates, and also giving us your time. Thank you for the team for answering all the questions as well. Appreciate that. And yes, to reiterate, it's not a bi-weekly thing. We had a couple of big things that we're working on and pieces we're working on. And as you can see by tonight's little walkthroughs and stuff like that, lots of progress is happening. Hey, Benny, when new Citizen PFP? I've already got mine ready and chosen, and I'm waiting to receive I'm waiting till the public can get their hands onto the Citizens in the vault as well, and then I'm going to flip it into my permanent avatar, and I'm looking forward to it. Happy with it. So thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll bump into a lot of you in the vault over the coming days. Really look forward to seeing you there, and have a great week.
See ya, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.